LG E9 is the South Korean manufacturer's premium OLED in its 2019 TV range, slotting in above the C9. It boasts the brand's second-gen Alpha 9 processor, AI smarts, Dolby Vision, and voice assistant support. With last year's E8 knocked for its audio performance, LG is looking to improve matters with the E9. With its 2019 OLED TVs, LG not only has designs on delivering excellent picture quality, but it also wants to be at the center of your living room experience. Like the C9, it arrives with a wealth of features that will likely ensure you won't ever want to leave the comfort of your sofa. But LG is up against stiff competition for the hearts and minds of TV buyers in this area of the market, with Samsung's QLEDs making a strong case, alongside OLED offerings from the likes of Panasonic, Philips, and Sony. Design. While 2018's E8 bore a close resemblance to the C8, LG has taken a different route with the E9. There's a more discernible difference between it and its C9 sibling. While the E9 doesn't reach W9 levels of flat-screen wonder, the glass-on-panel design employed here is elegant. The thin OLED screen, bezel, and brushed metal finish give it a minimalist feel. Front-firing speakers are located towards the bottom, and the stand, as it is a combination of what appears to be a wafer-thin edge of curved glass, and a counterweight on the rear. And despite initial concerns that it could tip over, the weight of the counterbalance ensures it stays planted. The Magic Remote remains unchanged. While the point-and-click nature of it can be fiddly, it becomes natural and intuitive to use within the confines of the WebOS interface. For voice control, hold down the mic button and you'll be able to utter your every whim at the screen. Features. Comprehensive would be a word to describe the E9's features. In terms of what a TV can do, the E9 is like NASA's Mission Control, your central hub from which you can control and monitor a wide range of devices. Like the C9, LG has future-proofed its OLED TV range by adopting the HDMI 2.1 standard. The physical connections are housed on the rear and to the side, and you get 4 HDMI 2.1 ports. The second one is compatible with enhanced audio return channel, 3 USB ports, LAN, C-slot, 2 antenna, an optical digital out, headphone out, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth 5. The presence of HDMI 2.1 also means auto-low latency and variable refresh rate are included for a smoother, less latent display. You'll need both a compatible source and correct HDMI cable to take advantage, and right now the Xbox One X appears to be the only 2.1 compliant device. The E9 scores 12.7 milliseconds for gaming lag, which is blink and you'll miss it fast. For those worried about burn-in, LG has sought to reduce its impact with the screen reverting to an animated screensaver mode following a few minutes of inactivity. There's also a gallery mode that works in a similar fashion to Samsung's ambient mode. Like the C9, the E9 supports HDR10, hybrid log gamma, and Dolby Vision. The lack of HDR10 Plus is an annoyance, especially since LG has been so forward-looking in other areas. The lack of HDR10 Plus content in playback devices likely played a part, although that hasn't stopped Panasonic and Philips from including both HDR10 Plus and Dolby Vision on their sets. I should also mention that the E9 is WiSA ready. WiSA stands for Wireless Speaker and Audio, and enables wireless connection to a WiSA-compatible speaker without the need for speaker cables. Interface. WebOS returns, and is still a slick smart offering. The improvements are mainly to do with artificial intelligence. The home dashboard, for example, is the control hub for all inputs, outputs and Internet of Things appliances. If your washing machine is smart, then you can monitor its activity from here. The dashboard is also the place for managing Bluetooth devices, as well as AirPlay 2 and Apple HomeKit devices. ThinQ AI underpins LG's smart system, and this year it has brought Amazon Alexa voice control into the fold, to sit alongside Google Assistant. You can ask the E9 to search for a program, switch channels or HDMI inputs and so on, and voice control works well enough. Picture. OLED panels are known for their deep blacks and excellent contrast, and the E9 is another great showcase. Picture quality is frequently outstanding, with great results from native 4K content and upscaled material. There are several picture modes from which to choose, and a multitude of settings to go with them. The TV boots up in standard mode, which has a relatively cool color temperature but affords an enjoyable picture out of the box. It's worth noting that TrueMotion, LG's motion smoothing tech, is switched on automatically. For native 4K content it's best to turn it off, to avoid that glossy soap opera sheen. For content under 4K, it depends on what you're viewing. Standard definition content is predictably worse in terms of detail and color accuracy. Nevertheless, it's more than watchable. Faces can have a smooth, near waxy feel at times, but the E9 does a fine job of upscaling and keeping everything relatively coherent and bright. Sound. Last year we panned the E8 for its disappointing audio, since it lacked its predecessor's direct, powerful, bass-rich and room-filling sound presence. Suffice to say, the E9 puts in a good performance with regards to audio. Standard mode is fine, and hints at the presence of bass. AI sound is more interesting, and works by upmixing 2-channel audio to virtual 5.1. AI sound has more volume to it, bass is better defined, and the sound field is bigger. At times, there's a stadium echo feel to some programs, and content just sounds better suited to standard mode. The E9 also supports Dolby Atmos, and that expands the sound field a touch wider. Bottom line. The E9 is a terrific OLED TV. LG has managed to pack in a plethora of features, while also refining other aspects. The picture quality is outstanding, while the audio performance can be surprisingly hefty for such a slim TV. The C9 is practically identical in terms of features, and arguably offers better value as a result in light of its cheaper price. If you want the best that OLED has to offer, it's hard to look past what LG has achieved with the E9.